Somewhere over the rainbow, skies are blue.
Thanks for taking the time to join me on my channel, Nigel on Things. How you doing? How you keeping? Hope everybody's safe and sound where you are. Today we're going to be talking about rainbows. What gives you that impression? Before we get started, I need to give somebody a shout out, Liz Botica, because the first part of what we just looked at is from this video, and this video is quite a strange video. 2 minutes 48 seconds of pictures and video, and there are things in the sky that we can see with our own eyes, but really shouldn't exist. But there's also things that she's caught in this video that don't make any sense. Now I'll leave the links to her channel in the description box down below, nice and simple for everybody to find. Please go over and have a look. After watching the video, if you're not too sure what I'm talking about, go to the comment section in her video and see what I've said. No cheating, watch the whole entire video first and see if you can notice what I'm talking about. At any rate, if you like the content, please subscribe, and also don't forget to hit that like button. Many people, many channels out there across the internet showing some very, very strange things, and I'll leave the links to those channels down below as well. People just like you and me showing things that really shouldn't be on camera. But of course they're all faulty, and yeah. Let's continue. So what is a rainbow? It's not rocket science, it is moisture in the sky. We get to see them normally when there's rain coming towards us and the sun is shining, it produces a rainbow. They vary in size, they can be big, they can be small, but we only get one rainbow. We can replicate the same thing with a hose, squirt the water and we get that rainbow. You only get one. Like I said, it's normally a horseshoe, but over the past few years, I've seen something change. Many of you may have noticed. Let me show you an advert that was being aired by Channel 4 or maybe Channel 5, not really too sure. It was quite some time ago. It's one of those intermediate things that while they were talking about a programme, they put on the screen. And some of you might actually remember this. So what I'm saying is we're being programmed to accept what we see in the sky as normal. If we see something on TV, we might not actually take any notice of it, but it does actually sink in. And when we get to see it at a later time, you're just going to go, oh, I've seen that somewhere before, so it must be normal. Of course it must be. So obviously what we're looking at on the screen at this particular moment in time is CGI'd, but many people around the world are starting to see something that has never been seen before. A multitude of rainbows in the sky. 1, 2, 3s and 4s. For me, that's something I haven't seen before until quite recently. For me, that is technology in our sky making that happen. Of course, somebody's going to argue this fact, but for me, that's what it is. There is technology in our sky. There's things hiding things right underneath our noses. We'd never get to see it. I come across this video by Rebecca Clements, and I'll leave links to her channel in the description box down below. Nice and simple for everybody to find. If you could go over and show your appreciation by hitting that like button, it would be really appreciated. Rainbow in a strange place, and is that a cloud or an angel? 47 seconds of video, and boy, there is some very, very strange things going on in this sky. Down the bottom there, she says, if anyone knows how to edit the video and check, I'll be really grateful. I'm not good at this stuff. Well, I'm not very good at this stuff, but what we're going to do is run this through a filter, and I think it's quite interesting. I've stopped it at the 20-second mark because we're looking at what most people would call our sun. That big white LED in the sky, that flashlight, that torch. What colour is our sun? It's a yellow gas giant. Don't think gas, think plasma. That actually fits everything together. Plasma universe, it's electric. Our sun is still in the sky, no sun, no life. Don't even get me started. This object is definitely 100% man-made. One thing I've got to say is That object there, every time you take a picture, why does it change? Many people have noticed. Hey, and also look around the outside. What can we see? We could see a rainbow effect. That tells me there's a lens there because we're getting a rainbow effect. So you're saying, Nige, how did you come to that conclusion? I need you to look at this object here. Well, it's not an object, but it is a rainbow. Now this tells me everything I need to know. Just think about where you've seen this before. Much bigger version, up in the sky. You've looked, you've noticed what has appeared to be a sundog. Yep, that is exactly what you're looking at. That tells me in its own right that there's a lens in front of that object there. That isn't the only thing that tells us that there is a lens, because when we get to see sun halos, oh yes, ice crystals, you must be a very, very good citizen and believe everything our governments tell you. Ice crystals, that's most important. I believe, no I don't. And you're looking at a chemtrail sky, you look up and you see a sun halo. That in itself is a lens system being projected backwards on to the chemtrails. Hey, lens in front of that object. And yes, I'm going to prove that this object is electric and it's man-made. But you need to keep tuned for that and be subscribed to see the end result. 47 seconds of video, let's have a look. Up here, I'm looking at children running their dirty fingers through our sky. Yeah, absolutely normal. Chemtrails, look at the banding. It looks like a artist's palette. Light to dark. Over here, why is this not affected? I was thinking maybe I had this same effect, and I've looked around at many different photos and I'm seeing this effect over and over again. It looks, yeah, very unnatural, but of course it's a faulty camera or whatever it might be. Scale of clouds just here. We could see, yes, we'll take a closer look at this in a second, because what we're going to do is run this through a filter. But I'm looking at, I thought that rainbows were meant to be round. That really doesn't look very, of course, normal. Yeah, it's just the direction it's being filmed in. Of course it is, that's why. The perspective is wrong. Okay, the sky looks really, really normal. No, it don't. It looks like they're trying to poison us. And over here we've got, yeah, again, look at it. Yeah, normal. I'm looking at this. What is going on here? Is this the same object? Unfortunately, we don't get a lot of chance to see what's going on because the camera's moving so much. Now, this object I actually thought was our moon. I'm not really too sure what it is, how high it is. That could be extremely far away and very, very big, or that could be just very, very small in the sky. It doesn't move. And if you want to take notes, have a look at how the clouds are going across this object here. And I'm going to say it's an object because, yeah, that's totally normal. That rainbow, or whatever you like to call it, is behind those chemtrails. So let's have a look at the same bit of footage through the filter equalize. If you've just joined the channel or you don't know what it does, let me explain. It brings the colour, contrast, brightness and saturation all to the same level, brings out a lot more detail, things that we couldn't really see. It doesn't put anything in, it doesn't take anything out, it doesn't change anything. If you're actually seeing it, that means it's there in the first place. That's what you've got to understand. So let me give you a very quick example of what I'm talking about by using this clip, holographic cartoon skies, and links to this in the description box down below. And this is a prime example of what I'm talking about. If you look at both pictures here, you can't tell the difference between the two. The colours look near enough identical, so equalise really doesn't do anything to the video unless it's already there. That's what I'm trying to emphasise. Down here, this is a normal window, and to your left is the equalise. You'll be hard pushed to notice the difference between the two. The colours are near enough identical. So hopefully you got a better understanding to what that filter equalize does or does not do. Let's get back to the video. No introduction actually needed to which side that filter is on. I'm looking at a cartoon sky, a projected image. Is that possible? I mean, they're spraying all these chemicals in the sky, aluminium, barium, strontium, lithium, whatever it might be, stuff that you actually find in a plasma screen TV. It really does go a long way to explain what we're looking at, but I don't think it is very, very possible at all, because the logistics of what I'm talking about are humongous. But it's the only way I've got of answering what we're looking at. We're looking at a sky that looks like a cartoon. Blue. Cartoon. Of course it's down to the filter. Of course it is. Just here we've got a rainbow. So what is wrong with this rainbow that we're looking at? One thing we know about a rainbow, it goes from one horizon to the other horizon, or maybe a little bit smaller. They vary in sizes, big, small, large. But one thing is for sure, it looks like a horseshoe. It always looks like a horseshoe. So looking at this, I find this highly impossible. What I'm looking at is a piece of glass in the sky. Now, if you get a thick bit of glass, get a white bit of paper, shine a torch through it, what actually happens? You get a prism effect bleeding out the side of that piece of glass onto the paper, and hey ho, we get this effect here. And it does look like an L in the sky. Maybe it's just because that cloud or chemtrail is right in front of it. That's the only way I can answer that. The sky, look how red it is in places. It's red, white, green, blue. Yeah, of course it's down to the filter. We get to this point now and we're looking at a unmodified sky. So what have we just been looking at? There, it just looks normal, and this is what I would expect from this filter, as we've already seen. Look how red it is. Another thing is this object here. It's white, it's not yellow, and look at what it looks like. It doesn't look right at all. Object in the sky. Chemtrails going in front of it, and it's a way of hiding what's right in front of our faces because they don't want us to see or panic. The cat can't be let out of the bag. If you look round, you can see many other things happening in the world. Major upheaval in earthquakes and volcanoes and the weather. Anyway, back to this. Yeah, have a look at this. It does look like it doesn't look like a rainbow. It looks totally wrong. This object, how far away is this in the sky? Is it very, very close? Is it very, very near? Is it very, very big? We've got no frame of reference, so it's very hard to make out what it is. One thing I know, it isn't moving, but the camera's moving about a little bit too fast, so we can't gauge how long it actually stays for. That is not our moon. They need to hide what is in the sky. And we've seen this multiple times on multiple cameras. Technology in our skies, lenses in front of our sun and sun simulator, and lenses in front of our moon. And we've got many pictures if we want to do a Google search of exactly what I'm talking about. It is right in front of you. The technology is in place. It is just very hard to see unless we get chemtrails or chemtrail particulates, and hey presto, everything fits together. You don't need to believe a word of what I'm saying. It is there for everybody to see. You make your own minds up. Hey, Horace Turner sent me some pictures in. Thank you very much, Horace. And it goes a long way proving what I'm saying. Many people around the world taking these photos, not just one person, so it leads me to believe that it's worldwide. Looking at this, look, you can see it looks very much like a sundog. Very strange blue lens flare there, white dots. Let's have a look at the next picture. This really does prove to me that there's a lensing system in place. Look around this white object they call our sun, but if you look over here, you can see the lines of the lens itself. It's a Fresnel lens system and it's being projected backwards onto the lens of the camera just here. You can see the lines. We know it's a lens system because we actually get to see the lines many different times when you're taking a picture. You're not going to see this up in the sky. It is just being projected backwards. Lines just here and lines just here. Of course, that is not possible. Technology, Nige, in our skies, you're talking rubbish. Look at it. It is just there in your face. If there'd been chemtrail or chemtrail particulates in the sky, we would have seen a sun halo. Yes, ice crystals. Be a good citizen. Believe what you're told. John D sent me this picture in and it goes exactly the same with R.S. Turner's picture, and we can see that there's a lens system being projected backwards onto the lens of the camera. Oh, it's the lens of the camera. It's the wrong way round, but it makes no difference. It is a lens system up in the sky. Yet again, we can see those lines and we've got this rainbow effect. What a very, very strange looking lens flare just over here. Yeah, absolutely normal. Nothing to worry about. Of course, we would be, yeah, it makes no difference now, does it? I'd like to thank Tony D for sending this picture in because it says so much, and I'd like to thank everybody else for their pictures that I've used. If you sent me emails in, I'm very, very sorry. I'm so backed up at the moment. I'm very, very busy at work and you've got to earn the shekels to live. Unfortunately, that's the way life is. But like I say, this picture says so much. We're looking at two effects going on here. We're looking at a lens system being projected backwards onto the chemtrail particulates, and we're getting a sun halo. Not only are we actually getting a sun halo, but if you look up here, we've got a rainbow just on the side of the lens system, and that's the light coming through. Now, if everything marries up, right time, right place, right direction, and you got the camera at the right angle, this is what we're going to get. We're getting light being projected out the side of the lens system. Normally, when you see a rainbow in the sky, it's in the shape of a horseshoe, and this is not. So you can see that it sort of like veers off to one side. Yeah, just a normal thing, and that is not possible in my book. At any rate, you don't need to believe a word of what I've just said because I'm a nutter. The proof is there. More and more people around the world are showing you. It is just a matter of time. At any rate, that's all I've got for you now. Much love, much peace, and I'll catch you next time. Take care.